Is Apple a smart investment? For a look at the prospects for the iPhone maker stock, we're talking with Steve Sosnick, Chief Strategist of Interactive Brokers. Steve, welcome.
Thanks, Heather. Great to be here. After
Apple's Q4 results, you said investors should be concerned with Apple's sales numbers. Why?
The company itself is still a juggernaut. I mean, I write, I basically send them money every month for iCloud and all the other stuff. But the interesting part to me is they've had 4 quarters in a row where year-over-year revenue growth was negative. In other words, sales fell on a year-over-year basis. That to me is very hard to define as a growth stock. Yet Apple is perceived as one of the growth stocks. And so, the risk to me in Apple is not so much that their business is going to collapse. Their business is probably just fine. But are they being priced appropriately? Are they really a value stock disguised as a growth stock? And that to me is the existential question you have right now with Apple.
So walk us through the arguments on either side. Is Apple a growth stock?
Historically, it's been a phenomenal growth stock. I mean, I've got all sorts of Apple products hiding in my pockets right now and at home. So, that was tremendous growth. I mean, nobody could deny how they revolutionized technology. I think that's that. But what do you do for your next act? So right now, I think Apple is much more, yes, they're still developing iPhones. I think the reception of iPhone 15 has been, I think, a little more lukewarm than they would have hoped, particularly abroad. But I'm still probably going to get it whenever my phone dies. I'll just replace it with another iPhone. But is that growth really? I'm swapping one for the next. And they've got this great steady revenue stream, but so does the utility company. And so no one is going to confuse Apple with a utility company, but there are a lot of aspects where their business model overlaps now more with a utility than it does with a high technology growth company. But the key here is the market still prices it as one of the great growth stocks. It's still a great company, a great stock, don't get me wrong. The question is the market viewing it appropriately in this environment?
Is there a case that Apple at some point actually becomes a value stock? I understand there's a big difference in that range between growth and value, but can you envision a time where it is valued as a value stock?
Yes, and that's really, to me, a risk for investors. Not so much that Apple falls apart. I think it would be more that the rest of the market catches up to them, that the stock somewhat stagnates. And right now they're sporting, call it a 27, 28 PE, if not higher, because we're taping this on the day the market's ripping higher. But that's not a value stock price multiple.
Next, Steve Sosnick shares his views on short selling.